Let's talk about community building this year, and let's quickly talk about some of the two top players in this space. I've mentioned Discord and also Mighty Networks. Okay, so let's really think about which one is great for your community. And so I want to first, before I compare and contrast the Mighty Networks to Discord, I want to first define what they are, what the platforms do, because the configuration is actually different whether you go with Mighty Networks or you go to Discord. Okay. So the cool thing about Discord is that I want to talk with Discord first. So Discord, what I love about Discord is that basically you have an online live streaming and chat platform. Okay, that allows your users to create servers, and that's how they call forums. So servers are forums. Okay, and what I love about Discord is that when they started a couple of years ago, they were actually focused more on gamers. So it actually was a gaming community to start with, and then they realized that there was potential to actually expand to other types of niches. Okay, so bottom line is it started out as a platform for gamers, especially since PC games were not always designed with any way for the players to connect and talk, right? So Discord saw an opportunity to actually get into that niche, and it was actually an answer when it came to building a community around the shared love of video games. Okay, so although Discord nowadays still has a huge gamer community on it, it's actually evolved. Okay, to host other types of communities through its online forums and voice chat functions, especially during COVID. That's when they really saw a surge of users because people wanted to hang out online more. Okay, so Discord works well for building a forum to talk gaming, but also other topics. But it does have some limited live events and spaces features. Okay, what about Mighty Networks? Well, what Mighty Networks actually is a holistic community platform that allows you to build and customize what they call their spaces. And those spaces are dedicated clusters on the platform. Those clusters are dedicated to things you care about. And so the cool thing about Mighty Networks is that you're able to actually monetize content, community. You also are able to monetize courses. Okay, so you can build a community, but you can also monetize. So that's pretty good. So if you think about Mighty Networks versus Discord, I want to quickly show you a comparison chart. Okay. In other words, if you want to compare and contrast those two platforms, you got to have some metrics to actually judge to make your judgment, right? So I want to show you right now on the screen the comparison chart that you might want to really look at. So I'm comparing Mighty Networks to Discord, and I'm looking at some features. Okay, so features such as forum and messaging. I'm looking at live streaming. Okay, I'm also looking at AI community engine. So nowadays, artificial intelligence is really important. So you want to have some kind of AI feature to be able to optimize your community. You have the possibility to customize spaces. You also want to think about having a full course platform. So you want to have a learning management system. So that's actually an LMS. Okay, that's an important element to really think about. And also, you want to know whether you can sell memberships through either platform. Okay, and also to monetize your spaces. Okay, again, I'm showing this to you on the screen so you can see exactly like the possibilities that there are available actually on either platform. Okay. Also, whether you have token gating, sometimes token gating can really help you also depending on the niche you're in. Okay, but the token gating has to be native. In other words, you don't have to buy or let's say integrate a third party plugin to actually have native gating on your platform. Okay, and also white label apps. So whether you have it with Mighty Networks or Discord. Okay, so bottom line is you can see on the screen real fast that Mighty Networks does have a lot of options that Discord doesn't have. So except for forum and messaging and live streaming, Discord doesn't have many of the important modules that community leaders online instructors, mentors, coaches, mastermind groups actually need, in this day and age. Because see, when we talk about community building, we're not just talking about having a forum where people can talk, people can actually have some kind of live streaming. No, you want to go further. Especially if you want to scale, you have to find a way to actually monetize your craft. Okay, and you can see right off the bat that in that department, Mighty Networks is way better than Discord. So if you think about Mighty Networks versus Discord, I want to give you a few metrics by which you want to start your comparison. Okay, of course, a little earlier you might have maybe thought that the game is over. Mighty Networks has won, but not so fast. Okay, because if you dig in, you'll realize that Discord is also really great for certain things. Okay, so I want to really judge those two platforms through a few metrics, such as community features, monetization, Web3 features, customization, events, and apps and access. So, of course, when I spoke about community features a little earlier, you saw that basically Mighty Networks is way better because, again, you have the possibility to do tons of things you can't do with Discord. That's for sure, okay? Because Discord, once again, wasn't built originally as a community platform. It started as something for like a platform for gamers to hang out online and interact. Okay, and then they actually how do I say it? They pivoted later on. Okay, their business model. And in terms of monetization, one thing you need to really understand here is that basically, again, monetization is a big thing on Mighty Networks. It's not so big actually on Discord right now. Of course, I'll go into details. Okay, and also, what about Web3 features? Now, Web3 features is not something that you hear about a lot, but it's so important because if you are building a community around Web3, you want to know if the community has a Web3 integrations or features that make things like token gating, NFT gating possible. Again, I'll go in details later on so you can really understand what I mean when I talk about Web3. And also, you have to understand customization is really critical because if you want to add your own flavor to your community, if you want to really brand your community, if you want to add your own colors, your own tone, your own personality, your brain's personality, customization is very important. Same thing for events and also apps and access. So if we talk about Mighty Networks versus Discord, and we want to focus specifically on community features, it's important to understand that community features are not just there for some kind of like nice to have. No, this is something functional. This is something that can allow you to scale your community, to actually reduce your attrition rate, to keep members staying longer and longer and longer, not only in terms of paying membership dues, but also interacting on the platform. Okay, that's an important element. So Mighty Networks has a ton of community building features. You can, every member gets a profile that they can take with them. Okay, so that's really good. And so they can take with them across your platform. And you can create things like automatic onboarding material, especially great and awesome welcome videos. Okay, and your community members also get a personalized activity feed where they can see what's going on in the community and get updates from members and topics they're actually following. So you can see that you have a lot of possibilities with the Mighty Networks, okay? So basically, you are able to build also a landing page, a tagline, social announcements, invitations, a welcome post, starting community questions. And this can be done manually or automatically through ChatGPT-4, okay? And in terms of community features, you have flexible spaces, interactive polls, short and long form content options, live streaming. Everything I'm telling you here is just to allow you to instill some life into your community, right? You do not want to have a lethargic community. You want to have an active community, an agile community, and Mighty Networks allows you to do that. What about Discord? So Discord actually gives you the option to create a server and to dedicate spaces, if you will, to existing sub discussions through text or voice channels. You can connect to the voice chat from your Xbox too, which is actually a great feature for gamers if you think about it. And Discord recently added games to their voice channels, so you can either watch something with a friend or play a game with them. It has some of the same features as Mighty Networks for users to chat with each other, fairly intuitive discussion boards, and the option, and that's kind of cool, the option to actually upload files into your post, which is really cool. And so you also, Discord gives you the option to add GIFs and other funny characters and emojis into your post through the web app. But some of these features require paying for a premium plan, okay? So you have discussion board and dedicated channels, shared watching and gaming, live streaming and chat, emojis and GIFs. So that's pretty good. You can see that the features on Discord are pretty good too, but not as extensive as what you would get with Mighty Networks. So what about monetization? So if you think about Mighty Networks versus Discord, monetization is really important anytime you want to have a community, right? So basically on Mighty Networks, you have lots of ways to monetize your community, which should be a priority for every community organizer. So for instance, you can sell a membership to the community itself, which is the only monetization feature that Discord sort of has actually, okay? And but you can also make more money through Mighty Networks by creating and charging for courses, webinars, and live events. And you can build and charge for dedicated subgroups or masterminds for your members. And you can bundle any of this. That's totally possible. And what I love also is that every space has the option to gate and sell access, okay, which is something that's really fantastic. And Mighty Networks allows you to do it in more than 135 currencies, or you can also sell access to your community with crypto payments or NFTs. That's what I love about the gating, the token gating, okay? And also that's really good. So what about Discord? Like I said before, Discord is not really built for community building, but hey, listen, they're doing their best. They have recently added a feature called Partner Program, through which server hosts can apply for the ability to sell planes. The feature is not fully rolled out yet, and not every creator who applies will be approved, right? This means that if you do all your work to create a community on Discord, it's actually unlikely you'll ever be able to use Discord to monetize. And if your community took off and you wanted to monetize, you'll be looking at either stitching together third-party platforms to make it work, or actually else looking at the task of trying to move your community to a new platform. So this is not something you want to really think about, okay? Now, the other thing to understand about monetization on Discord is that even if you do get approved, they take a 10% cut of your earnings, okay? Which is really huge in certain niches anyway. So let's talk now about the Web3 features. So if we think about Mighty Networks versus Discord, Web3 features are really cool. Now, both Mighty Networks and Discord enable you to token gate. That means what? It means you can ensure that only people with the right amount of tokens or even type of tokens in their wallet can get access. Okay. Now, however, the possibilities and how you do this on both platforms is pretty different. So Discord does things very wonderfully in the sense that you are able to get started real fast. Okay, but you do need to find and connect a bot and keep it integrated with your community. And that bot is not native. Okay, so it's not a built-in feature. Excuse me, it's not a built-in feature. So there is some tech overhead and hoops for both you and your members to jump through. Okay. And since Discord doesn't offer subgroups or courses, you're only getting access to the server actually. So on Mighty, token gating is a native feature. You don't have to plug in third-party apps. No, you have this feature natively. So it's actually built into the product. So there are no integrations or third-party software to connect and manage, okay? So once you set up a token gated plan, people who want access will be prompted to connect their crypto wallet if they haven't done so already. And Mighty will check if they have the right token or token amount, and they will be in. So that's totally good, okay? So what about customization? So so when it comes to customization, you're pretty good with Mighty Networks because here is a platform that allows you to add your own branding, colors, logos, and images. Okay, you can also customize welcome sequences. That's kind of cool. You even have the option to customize the language around your community. Okay, so this is kind of cool. For example, if you don't like the word course to describe your offering, you can change it to anything you want. Okay, and automatically it will be reflected across the platform. And you can also build all of this under your own domain name so that your members can feel like they're totally in your space. And that's pretty good, especially when it comes to branding. What about Discord? Well, the only real customization feature you get with Discord is the ability to personalize your server with an icon. So Discord is kind of similar to Facebook or any other social media in the sense that you are promoting their platform. You can't do anything else. You exist within their platform. Okay, that's an important element. So basically, you can only personalize your server with an icon. While that may not be a deal breaker for some people, if you, let's say, do care about having your community reflecting your brand identity, it's a limitation. Okay, so that's something to really think about. So it's something to really think about, and you can also change your server color, from black to white. So that's it. That's all you can do. So what about Mighty Networks versus Discord? Let's talk about events. That's another judgment criteria to really pay attention to here. So basically, Mighty gives you some great options when it comes to events. The cool thing is that events are also great ways to actually monetize your community, right? Every community has an events tab within it, and you can set up an events week. You can have an events weeks. You can have an events week in advance by filling a bit of information like title, description, image, and you also have some kind of flexibility around the event feature, because if you want to charge for an event, you can host it in a gated space. This will give you the ability to sell tickets, run the event live, and also create a ton of discussion and hype around it, right? Also, Mighty Networks has a built-in Zoom functionality, so you can set up a one-click Zoom links for your event in the platform itself. So basically, you can charge admission if you want, events for the whole community or individual spaces, chat and member feedback during the event, live streaming options, so that's pretty good, automatic built-in Zoom scheduling, and you have RSVP and email reminders. So that's kind of cool. Discord, what about Discord? Well, Discord has some neat event options too. While you can't really charge for an event without the use of other platforms, you can set up a time for everyone to come and open up a voice channel or video live stream. And with live streaming, you can also share a screen. Okay, that's kind of cool. And some Discord channels host test events too, okay, where users join at the same time and can interact with each other live, actually. So that's pretty good. And what about apps and access? So Discord has an app that works across all devices. Members can generally access your server from where they're at and get notified about new activity through the app. Okay. Now, note that the email notifications are a little spotty if you only use the web app. So that's kind of cool. What about Mighty Networks? Same thing. Mighty Networks has a fantastic app that works on every operating system. Your users will easily find your community on the app, and it will match the experience in the web app. Notifications are built in, and your users will get email notifications about activity in the community. Okay, that's kind of cool. And you can also you can go through Mighty to build totally custom white label apps that live under your brand in the App Store or Google Play Store. But this service is actually offered through the Mighty Pro service. So as a recap into this conversation, I spoke to you about Mighty Networks versus Discord. We looked at a few judgment criteria. Thank you so much. God bless you. One thing I want to say here is that whether you should go with Mighty Networks or Discord really depends on what you want to build. If you want to build a very dedicated community space, like pretty exclusive, go with Mighty Networks. If you're willing just to test the waters and start little, go with Discord. Thank you so much. God bless you. I will see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.